Hello and welcome! I am Bira, the coach of the Atacama Tarantas, and today we're going to be doing our week 5 of SPDA Ultraball against Cody. Cody is a friend of us from the HDL, and he's having a really good tournament so far. He's undefeated with a 4-0 record and a really good differential. So yeah, his team has a Terra Salamence, which I think it's super strong and really strong versus us. Both its special and Dragon Dance set have good potential into our team. He also had a Salazzle that he didn't bring to the battle, which I thought was really interesting because Salazzle pretty much outsped our whole team and was able to Toxic stall us with Substitute. So that's why you see like some weird item choices here, like Silk Scarf Arcanine was to do heavy damage to it with extreme speed and also with Hyper Voice to go through the sub, and we have Choice Scarf Mesprit to be faster than that thing and potentially kill it before it has a chance to set up a substitute or Toxicus. So yeah, luckily he didn't bring that versus us, and this week we are Terra Fairy, Hydrapple, and Terra Normal Arcanine. He will be Terra Poison Salamence, likely to deal with our potential Terra Fairy Hydrapple. So yeah, that was a really good bring from his part. So I decided to lead with Donphan here, expecting him to lead with other thing. I can't remember what I expected him to lead with, but he immediately goes for the Milotic. Milotic is a Pokemon that has been doing really good for him this league. He's piloted it super well. So we will have to take that into consideration. So knowing that we will probably switch out here, he can go for a flip turn if he has it. And spoiler alert, he does have it. But he decides to do heavy damage immediately to Donphan and go for the Skull here as we switch out into our Greninja, which gets immediately poisoned, which is super unfortunate because we were carrying that Gong Shot to deal with the Clefable, and now it's not going to be so useful. I didn't go into Hydrapple immediately because I thought he might bring Ice Beam here. And I didn't want to lose our Yache Berry immediately. Now I'm thinking, well, there's no way he will stay in here because that thing cannot touch us. So he will either flip turn or I don't know, the coil or something like that. But we click the Grass Knot button, and likely he didn't expect us to have that thing because we were able to do heavy damage to Milotic here. And he goes for another Skull. I don't know what he was expecting, but Skull didn't do much damage. However, that burn damage is actually ticking up. So here, yeah, there's no way he's going to let this Milotic die. And I am Grass type now. I don't think I can click Grass Knot once again because he does have that Salamence which quad resisted. So I decide to go for switch out because I know he's going to switch out here. There's no way he's going to stay right now. And yeah, I go into Hydrapple, expecting him to switch out into something that I can take on immediately. But if he wanted to go for Scald again, actually Hydrapple was not going to lose some much HP. At this point, I didn't think he had Ice Beam. Otherwise he might have clicked it before expecting my Hydrapple, and he went for another Scald. So yeah, he goes into Salamence once again, as my initial gut was telling me. And here, as he's Terra Poison, he would probably go for a dragon type move to hit my Hydrapple, but I don't think that's his best move because I can Terra and be immune to it. Or he can go for a Terra Blast, which, to be honest, is good versus my Hydrapple because it hits both before and after Terra, but also it's really bad versus Corviknight. And I don't think you should have clicked Terra Blast here because my Corviknight switching was fairly obvious. And yeah, so he does go for the Terra, the Terra Poison. And I don't know at this point if he's specially invested or physically invested. And as you see here, he's going to go for a Terra Blast, and he won't hit my Corviknight. So that's a good play on my side. I am carrying an Oka Berry, so if he has Fire Blast, I am able to actually resist that Fire Blast and switch out safely with a U-turn. But as I mentioned, I still don't know if he's especially invested or physically invested. And my Bashiri, my Donphan, is physically defensive this week, so I don't want to take like a Draco Meteor to the face. Yeah, I do this U-turn here. Luckily, or maybe not so luckily for me, I avoid the Fire Blast, so I have no idea if it's mixed now or if it's physically invested. Here, I know he's going to go for a Fire Blast once again, but I figured, well, the Fire Blast wouldn't do much because it's not stuff, and I still had my Sturdy here. Now that he missed the Fire Blast, my Sturdy is intact, and I can threaten with an Earthquake. He's probably going to switch out here, so yeah, I don't think he wanted to take an Earthquake, considering I had my Sturdy intact. So I go for a knockoff to try and cripple someone from his team. There goes the knockoff, and I get rid of this thing's Citrus Berry. I know he might have Giga Drain here, and I don't want to actually get rid of my Sturdy to try to stop a potential Dragon Dance Sweep. So I switch out into Mela, which was a little bit reckless in hindsight because he might have had Ice Punch, but I have my Yachi Berry intact, so he was not going to be able to one-hit KO me there. And he does go for a Super Fang, which is fairly good, but nothing I can recover with Regenerator. So yeah, here expecting him not to be a really tanky Electros, I didn't want to touch it. I much rather would probably cripple it with Yon. So this thing has no item, and actually I wanted to put it to sleep. In hindsight, if he had, well, I at this point I could tank an Ice Punch if I remember correctly. I think I did the calc, so yeah, it wasn't that bad. And I remember that I am faster than this thing. I speed prepped Electros with my Hydrapple, so Yon was really bad into Fall Switch, and he indeed went for the Fall Switch. So yeah, that's a missed turn for us, and now he has the momentum and can bring whatever he wants at this point. So I am thinking, Clefable is a really good switch. Also the Salamence, but he goes for the Clefable, fearing the Moonblast, and seeing as my Mela, the Hydrapple is super important for me because it's probably my most important Terra Captain at this point. Since he didn't break the Salazzle, I decided to go out and keep some health on my Hydrapple with Regenerator. And I don't know why I didn't go into Arcanine, because that thing actually cannot touch Clefable. and he shows me substitute, which at this point I think, well, I can break this thing with a Brave Bird, but he's not lefties, so he's probably life orb. I didn't think he would bring unaware, expecting my overbone hard flame with Wolf Breaker. So yeah, and here he decides to go for Fire Blast after I break his substitute. So yeah, my Okaberry actually saves Corviknight there, but bad luck once again. I get burned. It's been a fairly hacksy game. He did miss some Fire Blast, and I got burnt immediately twice. So yeah, he has free range here to substitute, but I don't know why he didn't do it. Because, oh, maybe he was expecting like Iron Head, but I didn't show him that I had Iron Head. I showed him Brave Bird, and there was no way I was breaking that substitute if I was burnt. So yeah, I don't think that was a good play on his side. He goes again for the Electros, and here I am thinking, well, I can go into Mela once again, try to get some Regenerator. He would probably Super Fang me, which would make this thing pointless. So yeah, I can't remember what I did at this point. Yeah, Mela does seem like a safe switching at this point. So yeah, I go for Mela. He cannot touch me probably. He has Volt Switch, Super Fang, and I don't know any other move. I go for the Fickle Beam, and I do a lot of damage. So I don't think this thing is especially defensive. He goes for the Super Fang once again, and at this point I figure, well, I would KO with a Giga Drain, and if he switches in Clefable, I can at least do some cheap damage and grab some HP back. I try to keep my thing healthy here. That's why I didn't click Fickle Beam once again. It would have been nice if I got the go all out there, but I didn't. I would have K'd over this thing, and I don't really think that he wants to save this thing at this point. It doesn't have an item. It cannot touch the Hydrapple. Yeah, Arcanine is probably too bulky for it, and faster. So yeah, my Giga Drain was safe here, unless he brought like Salamence, but there's no way he was going to be bringing Salamence against Hydrapple, because I think he wants to keep that thing healthy. And yeah, he goes once again for the Clefable. I go for a Giga Drain and I deal a lot of damage. So now I understand he is not he's not so bulky. He's not especially defensive. So he's probably offensive. And I did the calculation with Life Orb. He had a really low roll, a really low chance to kill me here, like a one roll out of the 8. So I just Terra, expecting him to try to KO my Mela. I am a little bit invested in special defense, and that thing actually can come in clutch. If he did the calc with me not being especially invested, he might think I will die to a Moonblast. But yeah, I don't think I will. And indeed, I live with 49 HP, which is really good, because now I get rid of that Clefable that I was afraid of. The substitute Calm Mind actually was fairly strong into the composition I brought, so yeah. And I imagine he had Calm Mind after seeing that substitute. I was thinking like Moonblast, Calm Mind, Recover, and Fire Blast as last coverage. However, that thing cannot touch Arcanine. As expected here, he brings in the Salamence, and I think it's time for me to let my Corviknight go, because once again I don't want to lose my Mela. Oh no, I go into Arcanine. I didn't remember that actually. So this is a really long battle. I think it was a really good one, fighting for positioning back and forth. I am 6-5 up, and once again he misses the Fire Blast, so I still don't know what kind of Salamence I am facing, which is kind of awkward, to be honest. I don't know if my Donphan is going to be good versus it, so that's why I'm keeping my Sturdy intact. He has the Milotic in the back, and it's fairly expected I expected him to bring in the Milotic here, because I cannot touch that thing. Even if I were like physically offensive, I cannot touch it with neither of my moves. So yeah, I go for the Hyper Voice, expecting him to bring in the Milotic, because Flamethrower would have done nothing, so might as well get a little bit of chip. Alternatively, I could have gone into like Greninja to catch the Milotic or the Hydrapple, but I thought that was a fairly risky move, and I didn't want to risk him staying in with South and clicking a strong move into it. And yeah, he brings in the Electros. I think it was a sack. If I were him, I would have brought the Milotic, because I cannot touch that thing with anything. And as far as I remember, he's not low. Or is he? Now we will know, because he brings it in. Yeah, he was a bit low, so yeah, maybe that's why he didn't bring in the Milotic, because I don't think he was going to be able to withstand 2 hits from Arcanine anyways. So yeah, well played on his side. Milotic does seem like a strong Pokemon into our team right now. Besides Hydrapple, which I can now safely switching into this thing, because an Ice type move is not super effective versus me. I only have Greninja to try to deal with this thing with Grass Knot. And yeah, I figured he would take his time to click recover right now, and it felt like a good opportunity to bring in the Greninja. He does click recover. In hindsight, I probably could have gone into Hydrapple to try and grab some more regen health. I think that was a better play. And because now I have to click Grass Knot, I'm forced to click it, and he can bring in the Salamence, which completely walls me after I am turned into a Grass type. And he can, well, whatever he clicks into me is actually going to KO me. He brings in Narita Bryan, surprisingly, because I thought Salamence was super good into my team. I thought he probably over-predicted. He thought I might click Extrasensory there. That's why he didn't bring in the Salamence, because that would have done heavy damage, and it was going to be, I mean, Urshifu is immune into Extrasensory, so yeah. I am faster than this thing, but I figured, well, Sucker Punch definitely KOs me, because I am not a Dark type anymore, and if he's a Scarf, he's also going to KO me. So, with what takes both those moves perfectly, it's actually Nino the Arcanine, because I can intimidate him. He decides to go for a close combat or something. It was going to do some damage, but probably not that much, like probably less than half, unless he's choice banded. But if he's choice banded, I don't know why he would be switching there. He goes for an Iron Head, probably expecting the Hydrapple, because it resists the close combat. But yeah, Iron Head was not a really good move, because now he has to reach out, and now I figured his choice card, because why? So yeah, I pull out the double. It was the melodic switching was super obvious, and once again I go into Greninja to try and KO with a Grass Knot, which again was not a good move. Or maybe it was better than last time, because if he decided to overpredict once again and click Iron Head once again into my Hydrapple, that would have been bad for me. So yeah, this was a lot safer. So here I go for a Grass Knot, because I realized it was doing more than 50%, and he goes for a recover. So he wants to stall me. He wants to stall me here. He's losing. He's gaining a little less damage that I'm doing, but the burn is going to take me out. But now he knows that the Salamence switching is free. He is healthy once again, and he can bring in the Salamence. And he does. He intimidates me, which doesn't matter at all, and I Grass Knot him. And I do more damage than I was expecting, to be honest. Which is telling me he's offensively invested. Now I have the option to sacrifice Suterusu, the Greninja, or go into something else. Maybe I could go into my Corviknight and try to, I don't know, heal off some of that damage. But yeah, at this point I thought I was too damaged, and I wanted some damage on these elements anyways. I go for a Hydro Pump and I miss. And he goes for a Draco Meteor. So now I know he's especially offensive, which makes my Donphan not so good anymore. But I still have my Sturdy. In a pinch, this thing can help me versus some of his Pokemon. Now I have to make a decision. Do I go into Mela, because he's -2? I calculated that I could take modest -2 Terra Blast. Barely, if he created me, that was bad for me. Which now that I think of it, was probably not the right play. I should have gone into maybe the Mesprit and just click U-turn. But I so wanted this Salamence death, because it freed up my Hydrapple. So yeah. Here, now that his only Earth immunity ground immunity is gone, I could safely click in the Earth Power, and well, luckily he didn't crit us, because that barely takes us out, and Earth Power does take out the Salamence. So that's another kill for Hydrapple. She's been doing super good this league, and now she has 2 kills, and I am up in 5 versus 3 if I remember correctly. Hydrapple can actually switch out once again and grab some more regen health, which I will need, because otherwise I cannot kill this freaking Milotic with anything I have actually. I go out into my Corviknight, because at this point this thing doesn't have any more use, and he does click Skull. Now I can actually stall some of his PP with pressure and Roost, or I can go for a slow U-turn. Anyways, I don't think I'm leaving any of his hits. He's probably going to stay in and KO me, which is fine. As I mentioned, I don't value Corviknight anymore. So yeah, I went for a U-turn trying to grab some more regen health with Hydrapple, if I remember correctly. And he's taking a lot of time to figure out what to do. So he probably could have gone for a fleet turn. That's why I went for a U-turn to grab momentum no matter what he does. Or he can KO me here, and he does decide to KO me, which is fine. It's fine. Now I think I do have to bring in Mela, and he cannot KO me with anything. And I can go for a Giga Drain and grab some more health. Alternatively, I was trying to figure out if I could go for a U-turn or a strong Psychic into this Milotic with Mesprit, but that wasn't a good idea. I don't think I was going to be able to break this thing with Mesprit. So yeah, he doesn't KO me here with either Scald or Ice Beam or whatever he wants to bring in. And at this point he doesn't have a Grass Resist, so yeah, Grass Knot was super free. Super free. So Mela is starting to slowly starting to take over this game with the Regenerator, because I managed to survive clutchly 2 attacks that left me really damaged, and Giga Drain, which is keeping me afloat. He does bring in the Iron Threads. I see his booster energy, speed, and so I figured this was an offensive Iron Threads. I didn't grab much HP, so yeah, he's not HP invested at this point. But I wasn't sure what he wanted to do to me. So here he can either go for an Iron Head or an Earthquake if he was offensive. And I figured, well, Gondwana's defense is fairly good, so I was able to try to tank both those hits. I do have Levitate, so yeah, I'm immune to Earthquake anyways. Yeah, I was trying to see if I could predict what he was going to click there, but yeah, it was pointless to do so, because Mesprit can tank Iron Head just fine. He goes for an Earthquake, which tells me he probably doesn't have Iron Head, because otherwise I would have clicked it there. Here I do want to get rid of this thing. He goes for a Rapid Spin. So yeah, that was a weird move from his side. I thought I was going to KO, but he barely lives. I immediately click Ice Beam once again, because I am locked in, He goes for my loading, which is unfortunate because I'm not going to be able to do anything to him. So now I have to switch out again. Luckily, Mela by now is super healthy, and I can safely go out into it. Because neither Scald or Ice Beam or whatever he does click would KO me. He does get a nasty crit on that Scald, so I am at half HP again. And now, as I mentioned, my Giga Drain was super free, and I could click it no matter what. He does the safe play and sacrifices his Iron Threads, because that way I only gain 1 HP from Giga Drain. And now he can bring in the Urshifu try to Iron Head my thing, my Hydrapple. Luckily, that's not a problem because I now switch out and I grab some more HP. That's the third kill for Hydrapple, by the way. And if I switch, I was trying to see if I could tank one Iron Head here, but then I figured, well, if he does manage to, if I do manage to survive and he does get the flinch, that was going to be bad for me. So yeah, I have a full Arcanine in the back that I can go to, which is super safer, way safer. I go into it and I can take Iron Head or whatever he does want to throw at my Nino here. He goes for a U-turn, which I didn't know he had, but it was a good move on his side because now he has momentum and can switch in the Milotic safely. But I can rinse and repeat, go again into Mela, which is healthy once again, and threaten with a Giga Drain. So at this point, I'm seeing the goal post is near. I can click Giga Drain 2 times and win this battle easily. And seeing as I have the Arcanine in the back, I can actually go and kill the Urshifu easily again with extreme speed. He goes for an Ice Beam and he gets the freeze, which is super bad for me. At this point, I was getting a little bit nervous. Luckily for me, Guana was also healthy, and this thing has a fairly good special defense, so I can, and I am HP invested, so yeah, I don't think this thing is going to do much to it anyways. However, I wasn't going to be able to break this thing with Psychic, because I figured this thing was especially invested. I go for the U-turn to pivot into Hydrapple once again, try to fish for the Scald Thaw, because yeah, I can tank 1 or 2 hits from this thing easily before going down with Mela. So I have some chances to be able to thaw before this thing gets too complicated. So he goes for a recover and he's full now. I go for a Giga Drain knowing that I can tank whatever he wants to throw at me. He doesn't go for the Scald as expected, he doesn't want to thaw me, and I'm still frozen solid. So yeah, I now do have to go once again into Gondwana, rinse and repeat, click U-turn to grab that UC regenerator HP from Mela. So Gondwana is going to probably take a nice beam to the face, because I don't think he was going to be clicking Scald anymore, knowing that I could go into Hydrapple and he can thaw me. I go once again into my Hydrapple here. So yeah, this freeze made the end game a little bit more chaotic than it should have been, but I was seeing the light out of the tunnel here. I could see that I had the victory, but yeah, if I didn't thaw, that was going to be a little bit complicated. Yeah, I click Giga Drain as I can tank any hit from this thing. He does figure that I might thaw here, and it was a little bit risky to keep in the Milotic. Luckily, I thaw out and Giga Drain this Urshifu and grab the KO. So that's the 4th kill for the Hydrapple. And now the only thing he has left is the Milotic, which dies to 1 or 2 Giga Drains. So yeah, he was not going to be able to stall my Giga Drain PP, because Recover does have less PP than I had and Giga Drain's PP left. I go for the Giga Drain, I don't do much damage, but I figured, well, if he wants to keep clicking this move, I only have to keep him low in order for one of my other Pokemon to be able to finish it. So yeah. He goes for another Scald. He crits me once again. And he burns me. So that's my third Pokemon burned this battle. And I go for a Giga Drain, and he goes down. So that's the fifth kill for the immortal Hydrapple, as you saw in the thumbnail. And that is going to be the game. So that's a very solid 4-0 versus Cody, who was 4-0. He was undefeated. And now I am at 4-1. I think if I grab one more victory, I qualify for playoffs. So thank you guys for coming. Click that like button and subscribe if you like this content, and I'll see you next time. Bye.